There is a stirring in the spirit realm. Something is shifting, something is moving. You may not see it with your natural eyes, but deep in your soul you can feel it. It's like the wind that rustles the leaves before the storm breaks. Something is coming. And I came to tell you today, God is about to shift everything for your breakthrough. Not some things, not a few things, everything. He is about to turn the tide in your favor. He is about to open doors that have long been shut. He is about to bring light to the places that have been in darkness for too long. God is about to move in such a way that no man will be able to take credit for it. This will not be by might, nor by power, but by His Spirit. There are times when we pray and wait, when we fast and believe, and nothing seems to change. We serve, we give, we forgive, and yet the mountain doesn't move. The door stays closed. The healing delays. The child strays. The finances dry up. And we ask, Lord, do you see me? Do you hear me? Yes, beloved, He does. And He has not forgotten you. Your prayers are not lost. Your tears have not been wasted. Heaven has heard, and heaven is about to respond. There is a shift coming. You may have been sowing in tears, but you are about to reap in joy. The weeping may have endured for a night, but joy is coming with the morning. Not because of who you are, but because of who He is. He is faithful. He is sovereign. He is powerful, and He keeps His promises. When God begins to move, He often does it suddenly. In Acts 2 it says, and suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind. Suddenly, that's how breakthroughs come. You were broke on Friday, but on Monday provision shows up. You were depressed yesterday, but today joy comes bursting in. You were locked in a prison of pain, but then the chains fall off. And when people ask you what happened, you'll only be able to say, God did it. He shifted everything. But don't misunderstand. Before the shift happens around you, it starts inside you. God often begins by shifting your heart, your mind, your vision. He teaches you to see beyond the now, beyond the pain, beyond the limitation. He grows your faith in the waiting. He refines your spirit in the fire, so when the breakthrough comes, you won't just be blessed, you'll be ready to carry the blessing. Because what good is a breakthrough if you're too broken to sustain it? That's why the delay didn't mean denial, it meant preparation. You thought God was withholding something from you, but He was actually preparing something for you and preparing you for it. Do not despise this season. It may feel like nothing is happening, but under the surface, roots are growing deep. Foundations are being laid, and when God shifts, it's going to be quick and it's going to be complete. Every obstacle, every hindrance, every enemy will be moved, not because of your strength, but because of His word. When He speaks, mountains melt like wax. When He moves, seas part, walls fall, graves open. And that same power is getting ready to invade your life. Get ready. Lift up your head. Strengthen your feeble knees. Stir up your faith again. Because the Lord your God is about to step in. He's about to make a way where there was no way. He's about to open the heavens over you. You won't have to fight this battle in your own strength. The Lord will fight for you. And when He shifts things in your life, it will be undeniable. You will say, this is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. You may be standing in the middle of what looks like confusion, chaos, or even silence, wondering if God is listening, wondering if anything is about to change. But I want to declare this truth into your spirit. God is not just watching, He is working. He is not standing idly by. He is orchestrating something behind the scenes. Even when it seems like nothing is happening, heaven is in motion. The God who never sleeps nor slumbers is arranging a divine shift in your life. And when God shifts something, it is not subtle, it is not partial, it is total. He shakes the heavens and the earth. He turns mourning into dancing, sorrow into joy, and ashes into beauty. When God gets ready to shift your situation, He doesn't need your background to match your destiny. He doesn't need everyone to agree with his plan for your life. He doesn't need the approval of those who doubted you, abandoned you, or overlooked you. When God shifts things, he bypasses the natural and moves in the supernatural. Your promotion won't make sense. Your healing will defy doctors' reports. Your restoration will silence your enemies. Because it wasn't your doing, it was the hand of God. And there's something about a divine shift that makes even the skeptics say, surely the Lord has done this. But let me tell you, before that shift happens, God often allows a shaking. That shaking may come in the form of rejection, disappointment, loss, or delay. But don't fear the shaking. It is the sign that something is being realigned. Hebrews tells us that what can be shaken will be shaken so that what cannot be shaken may remain. God will shake your comfort to awaken your calling. He will shake the temporary to reveal the eternal. He will shake the false to establish what is true. Sometimes the shift starts with discomfort, but it always ends with destiny. You may be in the middle of that shaking right now. Don't give up. Don't give in. You are closer than you think. In the Gospel of Luke, when Peter had fished all night and caught nothing, Jesus stepped into his boat. The same boat, the same water, the same nets, but now there was a word from God. And that word changed everything. Peter obeyed and let down the nets, and he caught such a large number of fish that the nets began to break. That was a shift. The struggle didn't end because Peter worked harder. It ended because the presence of God entered the situation. It ended because Peter followed divine instruction. Some of you have been doing everything right, but without the word from God, without his timing, without his touch, it has felt fruitless. But the Lord is stepping into your boat, and when he does, your efforts will suddenly produce overflow. Sometimes we think breakthrough will come when we're perfect, when we've got it all together. But God shifts things for those who are surrendered, not those who are flawless. God is not looking for people who have all the answers. He's looking for people who will trust him even when they have none. He's looking for those who will say, Lord, not my will but yours be done. Because when you put it in his hands, your plans, your pain, your fears, your future, he begins to work in ways you never imagined. He begins to redeem the time. He begins to restore what was stolen. And he begins to lead you step by step into the breakthrough that's been prepared all along. Don't stop now. God is about to shift everything. God has a pattern. He often lets things fall apart before he brings them together. He often allows the light to fade before the dawn breaks. It's in the dark, hidden places where faith is formed and character is forged. You may not see the shift yet, but it is already happening. It doesn't begin in the headlines of your life. It begins in the quiet chambers of your heart. God is not only shifting circumstances, he is shifting you. Before he opens the door, he strengthens your shoulders. Before he sends the blessing, he prepares your heart to receive it. And if you've been walking through a season of silence, don't mistake that silence for absence. God is not ignoring you. He is developing something in you that can only be formed in stillness. The deeper the root, the stronger the tree. The quieter the season, the louder the breakthrough. Abraham waited, Joseph was betrayed, Moses wandered, David was hunted. But in every story, when God moved, everything changed in a moment. And that moment always came when man had exhausted his strength and surrendered to God's plan. This is why the breakthrough begins when you give up control and give it all to him. When you stop trying to fix it and start trusting the one who holds it. That's when heaven starts to move. The Red Sea parts after obedience. The walls fall after the shout. The prison shakes after the praise. What seemed impossible suddenly becomes inevitable, not because the odds changed, but because God stepped in. And when God steps in, delay gives way to destiny. You're not stuck, you're stationed. You're not abandoned, you're appointed. You're not forgotten, you're being fortified for what's coming. There is a shift happening even now. What the enemy meant for evil, God is turning for good. What was meant to destroy you is actually going to develop you. Don't misinterpret the warfare. The pressure you feel is the weight of promotion. The attacks you faced are not signs of defeat. They are confirmation that you're on the edge of a breakthrough. The enemy doesn't fight what doesn't threaten him. The fact that hell has tried so hard to stop you is proof that heaven has something mighty in store for you. And I'm here to declare to you, the story is not over. You're about to step into the chapter that changes everything. So prepare yourself, build your altar, lift your eyes, get your hopes up again, dust off the dreams you buried, stir the embers of your faith. You don't need to know how it will happen, just know who is making it happen. You serve a God who parts seas, who shuts lions' mouths, who causes fire not to burn, who walks on water and speaks to storms. That same God has not changed. He is still moving, still healing, still breaking chains, and he has not forgotten your name. The wind is beginning to blow. There is a sound from heaven, a stirring in the spirit, a shift that is coming to your life. When it comes, it won't be small. It won't be silent. It will be sudden and supernatural. The shift will be visible. The change will be undeniable. Those who saw your struggle will witness your comeback. And they'll know it wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was God. He lifted you. He turned it. He restored you. So don't give up. Don't give in. Don't retreat. Because on the other side of this test is a testimony. On the other side of this valley is a victory. And when the shift comes, everything you lost will be restored, multiplied, redeemed. And you will look back and say, God, you were in it all along. Sometimes God allows everything around you to be shaken so that you will finally put your trust in what cannot be shaken, His word, His purpose, His promises. You've looked to people and they've disappointed you. You've trusted systems and they've failed you. You've leaned on your own understanding and still hit a wall. But all of that has led you to one sacred conclusion. Without God, there is no breakthrough. Without His power, there is no shift. And now that He has your attention, now that your heart is humbled and your hands are open, God is ready to do what only He can do. He is not a man that He should lie. He doesn't tease you with hope only to leave you hanging. If He said He's going to bring you out, He will. If He declared a promise over your life, He's going to fulfill it. And when God gets ready to move, nothing can stop Him. Not your past, not your weakness, not the enemy's lies. Your situation may look the same today as it did yesterday, but your future does not depend on how things appear. The Word of God overrides appearances. The shift is not about what you see, it's about what God said. If He spoke it, it will come to pass. Don't let the delay make you doubt. Don't let the silence cause you to shrink back. When God shifts things, it's not always instant in the natural, but it's always immediate in the spirit. Heaven moves first, and then the earth responds. So just because you haven't seen the evidence yet, doesn't mean the shift hasn't already begun. That contract, that healing, that door, that answer, it's already in motion. God has already spoken it into existence. You're not waiting on Him as much as He's preparing you to receive what He's already declared. Think about Lazarus, dead in the tomb for 4 days. Everyone around him had given up hope. Martha said, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But what she didn't realize was this: Jesus is never late. He doesn't arrive early to impress people, and He doesn't arrive late to apologize. He arrives exactly when the moment is right for God to get the glory. And when He called Lazarus out of that grave, death itself had to bow. That is the kind of shift that is about to hit your life. A resurrection kind of shift. Something you thought was dead. Your dream, your purpose, your strength is about to live again. You may have come through a season of loss or confusion, but that season is not your identity. Your breakthrough isn't just about escaping pain, it's about stepping into the promise. And promises come with pressure. That pressure you feel is not a sign that God has forgotten you. It's a sign that he's forming something inside of you. A new strength, a new faith, a new authority. And when the breakthrough comes, you won't just come out blessed, you'll come out better. God doesn't just restore what you lost, he multiplies it. He gives beauty for ashes. He gives double for your shame. And when he shifts the season, even your enemies will have to watch you walk in favor. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're not disqualified. The shift coming to your life doesn't depend on your perfection, but on your position. Are you surrendered? Are you willing? Are you ready to move when God says move? Because when he says the time is now, it doesn't matter how long you've been waiting. His word breaks cycles. His presence shatters strongholds. And when he releases favor, no force in hell can stop what's coming. This is your time. The night is almost over. The breaking of the day is near. And with it comes your breakthrough. Get ready. God is about to shift everything. There is a stirring in the heavens, a divine momentum building, and it's headed straight toward your life. You may not feel it yet. You may not see the evidence with your natural eyes, but faith does not wait for sight. Faith believes while still in the dark. Faith holds on when everything looks uncertain. And that's the kind of faith God honors. That's the kind of faith that moves mountains, opens prison doors, and invites divine intervention. You've been standing, praying, waiting, and pressing, and I came to tell you, your wait has not been in vain. God is about to shift everything for your breakthrough. The battle you thought would never end is about to come to a sudden and supernatural conclusion. Not because of your strength, not because of your connections, but because the Lord your God has declared, enough is enough. Sometimes God will let the situation get to its most desperate point, not to destroy you, but to show you that he alone is your source. He is not one of many options. He is the only answer. When you have nothing else to rely on but him, that's when the miraculous begins to flow. That's when the supernatural breaks in. That's when the atmosphere shifts and the chains fall. The woman with the issue of blood had spent all she had on doctors. She had exhausted every earthly resource. But the shift came when she said within herself, if I can just touch the hem of his garment, I shall be made whole. And in that moment of desperate faith, her healing came. You see, the breakthrough wasn't delayed. It was being reserved for the moment her faith aligned with heaven. And right now, I believe someone listening is having that same moment. Your spirit is reaching, faith is rising, and heaven is responding. God is not only shifting things for your benefit, he's doing it for his glory. He's setting the stage so that when it happens, everyone will know it was his hand that turned it around. The same people who saw you struggling will see you standing. The same ones who watched you cry will witness your joy. Not because you deserved it, but because God is faithful to his word. He will not allow your story to end in failure. He will not leave his children in the hands of the enemy. He will come through, and when he does, it will be evident to all that the Lord is your defender, that he is your provider, that he is your healer and restorer. The shift is coming to testify of his power. But before the outward changes, something has to shift in your spirit. You must come into agreement with what God has already said. Stop speaking defeat over your life. Stop rehearsing the pain. Stop giving more attention to the problem than to the promise. Begin to declare what God has spoken. Begin to praise him as though the breakthrough has already arrived. Praise is a prophetic act. Praise prepares the atmosphere. Praise confuses the enemy. Paul and Silas praised in a prison, and their praise caused a quake. The foundations shook, the doors opened, and every chain fell off. Praise released the power of God. And I believe your praise in this season will trigger your shift, not because your situation changed, but because your posture did. God responds to praise. He dwells in it. He moves in it. And when he moves, he shifts everything. You may have felt like you've been buried, but you've only been planted. You may have thought this season was the end, but it's actually the beginning of something new. What looked like loss will become gain. What looked like delay will reveal itself as divine timing. God is about to breathe on your dry bones. He is about to open the floodgates. The shift is not a maybe, it's a promise. And his promises are not based on how you feel, but on who he is. So lift your eyes. Shake off the discouragement. Square your shoulders. Because what's ahead of you is far greater than what's behind. Get ready. Your breakthrough is not only possible, it's inevitable. God is about to shift everything.